Adolfo Bresciano was an Italian-born Canadian professional wrestler, best known for his work as Dino Bravo, self-proclaimed as Canada's strongest man, and later the world's strongest man. Professional wrestling career. Territories. Bresciano began wrestling in 1970, taking the Dino Bravo moniker from a wrestler from the early 1960s who had teamed with Dominic DiNucci as the Bravo brothers, Dino and Dominic. He was trained by Gino Brito and often worked in a tag team with his mentor, billed as Brito's cousin. Bravo worked in a number of other tag teams, partnering with, among others, Mr. Wrestling, Tim Woods and DiNucci. Bravo held the Jim Crockett Promotions version of the NWA World Tag Team Championship with Woods, winning the title from Gene and Ole Anderson and eventually losing the title to the Andersons. Bravo also had a major program with Blackjack Mulligan, pinning Mulligan twice in a televised non-title match to set up a series of matches for Mulligan's United States title. Bravo did not win the U.S. title from Mulligan, but did receive several shots at NWA World Champion Harley Race during his tenure with Crockett. By the late 1970s, Bravo had become a big enough draw to get a singles push in the Montreal territory. In December 1978, he defeated Gene Kinisk in Toronto to win the new Canadian heavyweight title as recognized in that area World Wrestling Federation with Dominic DiNucci. Bravo captured the WWF World Tag Team title in March 1978 from Professor Tanaka and Mr. Fuji. 3 months later in June, the Yukon Lumberjacks defeated Bravo and DiNucci for the title. In the early 1980s, Bravo and King Tonga formed a tag team for a brief while, but never got much of a push. Bravo was scheduled to headline a card against Hulk Hogan in 1986, but the match was cancelled on short notice. With Bravo leaving the company shortly thereafter, the rumor was that the company did not want the Montreal crowd to cheer Bravo, the hometown hero, over Hogan, and that Bravo quit after finding out. Bravo returned to the WWF in 1987 with a new look. He was now noticeably more muscular, and almost immediately dyeing his brown hair blonde. He was again a heel and began working as part of luscious Johnny Valiant's stable with Greg the Hammer Valentine and Brutus Beefcake. Beefcake was kicked out of the stable at WrestleMania 3 and Bravo took his place in the Dream Team tag team with Valentine. Bravo returned to singles competition after a few months and began a strongman gimmick. In his days of wrestling mostly in Canada, Bravo was known as more of a technical wrestler. But with his strongman gimmick his technical side was pushed into the background and his style changed to using power moves such as body slams. At the 1988 Royal Rumble, Bravo attempted to bench press what he claimed was 715 pounds, which would have been a world record at that time. Commentator Jesse "The Body" Ventura helped lift the bar at one point, but Bravo played the lift as a success and began billing himself as the world's strongest man. In this gimmick, Bravo feuded with Don Muriso, Ken Patera, Ron Garvin, and Jim Duggan. Bravo yelled "Bara" every time he got the upper hand on an opponent, to get crowd heat. He played up his acute be acute COI's identity wearing the fleur-de-lis and was managed by Frenchie Martin, who often toted around a sign reading "USA is not okay." In March 1988, Bravo lost in the first round of the WWF Championship Tournament at WrestleMania IV against Don Muriso after pulling the referee between himself and Muriso to prevent a hit from the Hawaiian. Before the match to further play on Bravo's "World's Strongest Man" claim, Jesse Ventura in commentary claimed that during Bravo's record lift of 715 pounds, he had only used his two little pinkies, and had only put 2 pounds of pressure on the bar. During a rematch at the inaugural SummerSlam at Madison Square Garden in August, Martin distracted Bravo's opponent Muriso to allow Bravo to get the victory. In October at the King of the Ring, Martin managed Bravo in a win over Jim Duggan in a flag match. At the Royal Rumble in January 1989, Bravo, accompanied by Martin, teamed with the Fabulous Rougeau brothers but lost a 2 out of 3 falls match against Jim Duggan and the Hart Foundation. At WrestleMania V, Bravo defeated fellow Canadian Rugged Ronnie Garvin. After Frenchie Martin's departure, Bravo joined Jimmy Hart's stable and entered a feud with another power wrestler, the Ultimate Warrior, unsuccessfully challenging Warrior for his WWF Intercontinental Championship. Prior to a WrestleMania V loss to Duggan, Bravo teamed up with Earthquake, and Bravo would often display his strength by doing push-ups while the 460-pound Earthquake sat on his back. The team of Earthquake and Bravo would have a lengthy feud with Hulk Hogan and Tugboat. Retirement following a WrestleMania 7 loss to Kerry Von Erich. He disappeared from WWF TV for several months before having a short run on Montreal house shows as a face, against the Mountie and the Barbarian. Bravo left the WWF and retired from wrestling following a European tour in April 1992. In his final match, televised on Sky Movies, he and Colonel Mustafa lost to the Legion of Doom in Sheffield, England. After retiring, he helped train wrestlers in Montreal. Death. On March 10, 1993, Bresciano was found shot dead. He was 44 years old. He was hit by 17 bullets, 7 to the head and 10 to the torso, while watching hockey in his Viemont, Laval, Quebec home. His alleged role in illegal cigarette smuggling in Canada is popularly believed to have led to his officially unsolved murder. Rick Martel has stated in interviews that because of Bresciano's notoriety from being a popular professional wrestler, he was able to attract many customers, thus crossing the mafia. Right before his death, Bresciano confided to friends that he knew his days were numbered. He was a nephew by marriage of Montreal crime boss Vic Cotrona, and was believed by authorities to be involved in his organization for some time. Bresciano's remains are in a mausoleum at Notre Dame des Neiges Cemetery in Montreal, Quebec. In wrestling, finishing moves: airplane spin side suplex. Signature moves: inverted atomic drop, multiple suplex variations, belly to back, double underhook, gut wrench. Manages: Johnny Valiant, Frenchie Martin, Jimmy Hart. Entrance themes: La Marseillaise by Claude Joseph Rouget de Lisle. Championships and accomplishments: Georgia Championship Wrestling, NWA Georgia Tag Team Championship with Mr. Wrestling, Lutte International, Canadian International Heavyweight Championship, Canadian International Tag Team Championship with Tony Parisi, Maple Leaf Wrestling, NWA Canadian Heavyweight Championship, Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, NWA Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Championship with Mr. Wrestling and Tiger Conway Jr., NWA World Tag Team Championship with Mr. Wrestling, NWA Hollywood Wrestling, NWA America's Heavyweight Championship, NWA America's Tag Team Championship with Victor Rivera, Worldwide Wrestling Federation, World Wrestling Federation, WWF Canadian Championship, WWF World Tag Team Championship with Dominic DiNucci. Pro Wrestling Illustrated PWI ranked him number 179 of the 500 best singles wrestlers during the PWI years. In 2003, PWI Most Improved Wrestler of the Year.